Dear students, I am Mahesh Javalkar from Maratha Mandal Polytechnic, and today I am posting my seventh video on DCET questions on the subject microcontroller. Okay, so let's start with the questions of the seventh video. Question number first is question number 121. When an interrupt is enabled, then where does the pointer moves immediately after this interrupt has occurred? Okay. Now, when the interrupt is enabled, then the pointer has to go first to the vector table. Okay. Now, vector table is a table which will be having starting addresses of the interrupt service routines of the particular interrupts. Okay. Then whenever a interrupt is enabled, then the pointer has to first go to the first location of the interrupt vector table. Okay. Now that location will be giving you the interrupt service routine location, and then you can start executing the interrupt service routine ISR. Okay. So here, out of these options, option C will be the right one. When an interrupt is enabled, then where does the pointer moves immediately after this interrupt has occurred? Then the pointer will move to the first location of the memory called the interrupt vector table. Okay, so option C will be the right answer for this question. Then we'll go to the next question. Question number 122. A reset can be considered to be a interrupt. Okay, because in 8051, iron T0, then T0 or timer 0, that is TF0, then iron T1, and then TF1, and then RI and TI. These are the interrupts. Okay, but reset also can be considered as one of the interrupt. And if it is considered as an interrupt, then it cannot be maskable. It is a non-maskable interrupt because before that, higher priority than that nobody will have, because reset will start the system again from the beginning. So it is a non-maskable interrupt. So here the option will be option B, non-maskable interrupt. A reset can be considered to be a non-maskable interrupt. That is, it cannot be masked. It cannot be overcome by anybody. Okay. Then we'll go to the next question. Question number 123. After RETI, that is return from interrupt, okay, RETI instruction is executed, then the pointer will move to which location in the program? Okay. Now, once the interrupt was enabled, the pointer had moved from the main program location of interrupt enable, and it had gone to the interrupt service routine. Okay. And once the interrupt service routine is over, at the end of the interrupt service routine, we'll be having RETI. After that, it has to come to the next instruction in the main program where the interrupt was enabled. Okay. So out of these options, if you observe, next instruction of the program after the IE instruction, that is interrupt enable instruction, that is option B will be the right answer here. So next instruction of the program after the interrupt enable, after the interrupt was enabled, you had gone to the interrupt service routine. After the interrupt service routine is fully executed, at the end of interrupt service routine, you will be having RETI, and after executing RETI, you will come back to the next instruction in the main program, which is just after the interrupt enable instruction. Okay. So here the option B will be the correct answer. Then we'll go to the next question. Question number 124. Which pin of the external hardware is said to exhibit INT0 interrupt? Okay. So which pin in the external hardware is going to exhibit INT0? That is your external hardware interrupt. Okay. So here, if you see the pin diagram of 8051, okay, and if you see pin number 12, pin number 12, this is pin number 12, it is INT0, okay, and pin number 13 is your interrupt 1, okay, INT1, okay. So pin number 12 and 13, interrupt 0 and interrupt 1, so this is INT1. Okay, and then you can have pin number 14 and 15, okay, as your timer 0 input and timer 1 input, all that. So for this you have to remember the pin diagram, and for INT0 it is pin number 12. So here the option should be C, pin number 12. Okay, then we'll go to the next instruction, next question, that is question number 125. EA bit is used for. Okay, so it is enable all. EA means enable all the interrupts. Okay, so enable or disable all the interrupts. So here, if you see the options, options are enable or disable extra interrupts, enable or disable intra interrupts, enable or disable all the interrupts, and none of the mentioned. So out of this, option C is correct. It is enable or disable all the interrupts, whether they are internal or external, enable or disable all the interrupts. So option C will be the right answer for EA bit. So EA bit, by making that bit as 1 or 0, you are going to enable or disable all the interrupts. Okay. Then we'll go to see question number 126. If two interrupts of higher priority and lower priority occur simultaneously, then the service is provided for whom? Okay, so obviously we have priorities in interrupt, and once the priority is declared, the interrupt with higher priority will be entertained first, and then the interrupt with lower priority. Okay, so obviously the ISR of the higher priority interrupt will be executed, that interrupt will be serviced, that interrupt will be entertained, and then we'll come to the lower priority interrupt. Okay, so here the answer should be answer B, interrupt of higher priority. Okay, so here interrupt of higher priority interrupt will be entertained first as compared to lower priority interrupt. Okay, so higher priority will be serviced, and then after its service the lower priority will be serviced. Okay, then we'll go to the next question, question number 127. When an interrupt occurs, the 8051 executes. Okay, so whenever an interrupt occurs, every interrupt will have its own interrupt service routine, ISR. Okay, so whenever an interrupt occurs, the flow of the program will go to the vector table, and it will take the first location of the interrupt service routine, and the particular interrupt service routine for that interrupt will be serviced, will be executed. Okay, so that ISR has to be executed. So here the answer will be B, ISR. When an interrupt occurs, the 8051 executes ISR, that is interrupt service routine. Okay, then we'll go to the next question, question number 128. Which of the following interrupts have the highest priority? Okay, which of the following interrupts have the highest priority? So if you remember the priorities of interrupt, okay, if you are remember the priority of interrupts in 8051, okay, then you can see that, okay, the highest priority is given to INT1. Okay, so here you can see the highest priority, okay, sorry, the highest priority is given to INT0. INT0 will be the highest priority, and then you will be having timer overflow flag 0, and then we'll be having INT1, then we'll be having timer overflow flag 1, and then we'll be having your serial or communication interrupt flags for transmitter interrupt, sorry, receiving interrupt and transmitting interrupt. Okay, now all this, so in this, if you see, the highest priority is for INT0, so external interrupt 0. This will be having the highest priority. Okay, so here the answer should be answer C. So answer C is INT0, that is external interrupt 0. So INT0 will be having the highest priority. Clear? Then highest priority means what? The interrupt, if all these interrupt occur at the same time, then the 8051 will entertain INT0 first. It will service INT0 first, and then it will service TF0, then it will service INT1, and then it will service TF1. Okay, so in this way the priorities of interrupts are going to occur. Okay, then we'll go to the next question, 129. The interrupts must be enabled by using which register? Okay, so here the register names what he has given is interrupt priority register IP, interrupt enable register IE, or both IP and IE, or none of them. It is obviously interrupt enable register. Okay, so interrupts must be enabled by using interrupt enable register. Option B will be the right answer. Okay, then we'll go to the next question. Question number 130. The last instruction of ISR is, okay, so the last instruction of a particular interrupt service routine. Now every interrupt will have its own interrupt service routine, and for every interrupt service routine the last instruction should be return from the interrupt. Okay, that is RETI. RETI we say is that return from the interrupt and go back to the main program. Go back to the main program to in the next go back to the main program where you have the next instruction after the interrupt enable. Okay, so RETI, that is return from interrupt, will be the exact answer here. This is the last instruction of your interrupt service routine. Then we'll go to the next question. Question number 131. Among the 5 interrupts generated by 8051, okay, the lowest priority is given to which interrupt? Okay, the lowest priority is given to which interrupt? So we know that the highest priority is given to INT 0, then you have TF0, then you have INT1, then you have TF1, and then you have RI for receiving interrupt flag, and you have TI, okay, for serial communication. So the lowest will be going for RI and TI, this one. So here the answer will be the fourth one, that is RI. RI will be the correct answer. So lowest priority given by 8051 is your RI interrupt. That is when the last received bit is going to receive on your serial communication by the 8051, then that receiving flag will be generated, and that is your RI interrupt. Okay, so same thing can also be there for TI also, transmit also, and transmit and receive both are having the same priority level because both cannot occur at the same time in serial communication. They occur at different times. Okay, so then we will go to question number 132. The bits that control the external interrupts are, okay, now the bits that control the external interrupts are which one? Options are ET0, ET1, okay, then ET1, ET2, then you have EX0, EX1, and then you have EX1 and EX2. Okay, now these are the bits of your interrupt enable register. Okay, now in this EX0 and EX1 are the bits which are for enabling or disabling external interrupt 0 and 1. Okay, EX0 for external interrupt 0 and EX1 for external interrupt 1. So here option C will be the right answer. Okay, then we'll go to the next question. Question number 133. What is the clock source for the timers? Okay, now clock source for the timers will be the crystal applied to the microcontroller only. Now which crystal, what crystal frequency you are applying to the microcontroller, that only will be the source for the timers. Okay, so here the option B will be the correct one, from the crystal applied to the microcontroller. Okay, so that frequency only will be used by the timer as the clock source. Clear? Then we'll go to the next question. Question number 134. What is the frequency of the clock that is being used as the clock source for the timer? Okay, now whatever 8051's crystal frequency is there, that divided by 12 will be the clock source for the timer. Okay, that means option C says that controller's crystal frequency divided by 12. So that will be the your clock source for the timer. Okay, then we'll go to the next question. Question number 135. What is the function of the T mod register? Okay, T mod register. Okay, so it has to decide the mode in which the timer is going to work. So T mod. So options here you can see T mod register is used to set various operation modes of timers and counters. And second is tmod r register is used to load the count of the timer. And third is the destination or final register where the result is obtained after the operation of the timer. And fourth is used to interrupt the timer. Okay, so out of these, the first one, where tmod will give the mode of the timer, and it can also decide whether it has to work as a timer or a counter. So tmod register is used to set various operation modes like mode 0, mode 1, mode 2 of timer, and it can also decide whether it has to work as counter or not. Okay, so option A will be the correct option here. Tmod a register, okay, is used to set various operation modes in timer or counter. Okay, now then we'll go to the next question. Question number 136. Auto reload is allowed in which mode of the timer? So obviously we know that once the count is over, the count will be automatically reloaded in mode 2, of the timer. So here the option should be C, mode 2 of the timer, which is auto reload. So once your count is counted, okay, our timer is counted, then the count will be reloaded automatically only in mode 2. Okay, so mode 2 will have the auto reload option. So here the answer should be C, mode 2. Then we'll go to the next question. Question number 137. What steps are followed when we need to turn on any timer? Okay, so now you have to read all these options carefully. Option A says that load the count, start the timer, keep monitoring, stop the timer. Option B says load the tmod register, load the count, start the timer, keep monitoring it, stop the timer. This is little in detail. Then option C says load the tmod register, start the timer, load the count, keep monitoring and stop the timer. Okay, and option D says none of the above. So option B, that is load the tmod register with the appropriate bits, load the count, then start the timer, then keep monitoring it, and then stop the timer. Option B will be the correct process over here. Okay, so option B is the answer for this. What are the steps followed that we need to turn on any timer? Okay, then we'll go to the next question. Question number 138. If timer 0 is to be used as a counter, then what particular pin clock pulse need to be applied? Okay, so if timer 0, if you want to use as a counter, then a pulse has to be applied to P3.4, that is port 3.4, that is the fifth line of the port 3. Okay, and if timer 1 has to be used as a clock, then you have to apply the clock to port 3 sixth bit, that is P3.5. Okay, so here he has asked for timer 0. Then for timer 0, it will be port 3 fourth line, that is the fifth line of that port, that means 3.4. Okay, so the option will be B, 3.4. Okay, so B, that is port 3.4 will be the option. So P 3.4 pin, whatever you have over here, okay, P 3.4 pin, whatever you have over here, is nothing but your port 3 fifth line, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so port 3 fifth line. So here, oh, whatever you are having, this is port 3, okay, fifth line, that is 3.4. Okay, and that port pin is your pin number 14. Okay, pin number 14 in your hardware pins, which can give you this thing, timer 0 external input. Okay, timer or counter 0 external input. Similarly, 3.5 will give you for a 3.5 will give you for this thing will be for port 3.5. This will be pin number 15. Okay, pin number 15. So according to this question, he has asked for timer 0. Then for timer 0, it should be P3.4. Okay, so here you can see P3.4 will be the answer. Then we'll go to the next question. The next question says that in the instruction move th1 comma hash -3, what is the value is being loaded in the TH1 register. So this value we want in hexadecimal now. So minus 3, if you take minus 3 means it should be 2's complement of 3. So how you are going to represent 3? 3 is represented as 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. This is your representation of 3. Then you have 1's complement. 1's complement you are going to represent it as 1, 1, 1, 1. 1 1 0 0. This is 1's complement. Then for 2's complement you have to add 1 to it. So if you add 1 to it, okay, then the answer will be 1 0 1 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, this is nothing but F and this is nothing but D. Okay, so it will be FDH. So the answer option C, which is showing FDH, will be the answer over here. So option C, you have to mark it as answer. So if you want that TH1, timer 1, the higher register TH1, if you want to load it by minus 3, then you have to load FDH of hexadecimal. Okay. Then we'll go to the next question, question number 140. TF1, TR1, TF0, TR0. Okay, so the timer flag 0 and 1 for overflow and timer set and reset for 0 and 1. All these bits are there in which register? So here the answer will be control register, that is TCON. TCON register is one which is having TF1, TR1, TF0 and TR0 bits, which are there in your control register for the timer, which is called as TCON register. Okay. Now students, this were some another 20 questions which I have taken on microcontroller. In my next video, I will take another 20 questions on the same subject. Okay. Thank you very much.